You alright? It's been a while since I've done one of these Cameo episodes, so for any new listeners who haven't listened to the other 13 of these, what I do is I have a Cameo, cameo.com/worldaroundyou, where you can order videos off me for your friends. I say happy birthday or, oh, I'm sorry your nan's died or whatever. And then every now and then I put a little compilation of them together. I thought Christmas is coming up, it might be a good idea to remind people that Cameo exists. So here's a few of them. I used to read out the descriptions of what's going on before them and what I've been told. I can't find them now because it seems to have changed how it works. So we'll just have to jump straight in. Right. Tig Biddy Dave. Little pep talk for you, apparently. That's what Chubby Mike and Fat Mick want for you. I can't remember the name because they're so similar. Just the most American sounding names I've ever heard. Very hard to believe there's anybody called Chubby Mike in Wigan. Apparently, Tig Biddy Dave. You're from Wigan. I've been told I've got to mention you're from Wigan, which is a shame, I suppose, for everyone involved, really. I don't know much about Wigan apart from on the fields next to where I used to live. The farmer used to buy human shit from Wigan, have it treated, and then spread it on the fields. And I used to love walking my dog next to the big pile of shit and watching all the posh people let the kids roll around and like mess around on it, and then comfortably tell them, you do know that's human poo. That is a big pile of human shit that's been treated for the field. You know that, don't you? Oh, no, don't be silly, that's not what that is. But it definitely fucking was, mate, because I knew the farmer. Now, I've been asked to show you my rat pencil case, which I would have showed you anyway. I'll open it, unzip it, right? Apparently joining another F1 team. And speaking about people that are into big, fancy, fast cars, I've only got a little pencil. I've been wearing my pencil down. It's actually, you know what, considering you've left their team and you've joined another team, shows you've got no balls on you, you're not going to stick around with your mates. Smaller pencil, a little tiny pencil for Tig Biddy Dave. Tig Biddy Dave. The F1 Alpine driver, they are. Little twist of the pencil there in this. I don't want to look him in the eye. You can look him, get nice and close for you. Tig Biddy Dave. Look at this, do you want an action shot? Look at this. See, I've never understood the fascination with F1 because I've always just been under the impression that people only watch it in hopes of a crash, and I don't have the patience to sit and watch it just for that. I've also been asked to show you my Star Soul, which I don't have any, they've all sold. I have had a look to see if there's even one that I've kept for myself, but I don't. But I do have this, and I don't think anyone's ever seen these before. Tig Biddy Dave. These I was going to call Taint a Laughing Matter, and they're little bumhole fellas that are made out of clay years ago. I just never got round to really making any more. I made blue ones, pink ones, I put little bits of brown as well in the grooves of the arse. Salvador Dali claims that everybody's got their own little bumhole print, you know, like a fingerprint. And I really like the idea of like the weird copper, you know, like maybe like a little copper they took on with some form of learning difficulty. And he's just there like, yeah, bum, print, like that, and he's just fucking slapping everyone on the arse there with a piece of paper with ink on it. You know, like how you do with potatoes as a child. That's what I think he's done. You got this. This is a rat's paw in there. That's a rat's foot. This is the closest I could get to a star soul. This is the poo out of a mouse's intestine. I like to call it pre-poo. Tig Biddy Dave. It's inside of a little pig's face. I call them shitting pigs. What's the last thing in here? Oh, little baby chicken heart in a dinosaur as well, just to round it off for you. Apparently as well, this seems like a massive oversight for someone involved in F1. If you are actually an F1 driver, then you might be the most successful person I've ever spoken to in my life through one of these. But still, you're always arriving late, which makes me think you're not an F1 driver. Because if you're always late, then that implies you go slow, you don't respect Chubby Mike and Fat Mick, because you're always late to anything you're doing with them. If anything, I mean, it's very similar to what I said before about the little pencil. But I've always thought people that would be heavily involved in F1 and like avid fans of it probably come early to everything. Do you get what I'm putting for you there? And maybe, rather than arriving late, maybe, people could say you come prematurely to events. But you don't, you come late to them all. Maybe that's to compensate. Maybe you're overcompensating by always arriving late, because you don't want people being like, oh, he always comes early, because you heard that once and you were like, you what? Hey? Me? And they're like, no, let's just... Look, you were here half an hour before everyone... Oh, right, yeah. Not been speaking to our Michelle, have you? Michelle? Why, what would she be saying? What you on about? And then you've blown it for yourself, and then you've got to get another new job. Maybe that's how you met Chubby Mike and Fat Mick. What else have I got? Oh, how to make an impression with your new co-workers. Fantastic, a little here's how off the bat. Fantastic. What you need is a catchphrase. Everybody loves a catchphrase, especially with a new person. Also, if someone else joins just after you called Tig Biddy Dave, you've got to do everything you can to not be called other Tig Biddy Dave, because that means they don't respect you as the initial Tig Biddy Dave. Now, even though you could be the first Tig Biddy Dave, I've seen it happen many times in many different places. You have one person called like Dave, and then there's the other Dave, and then, you know, there's 3 days now, so we've got Dave, other Dave, and Black Dave, or whatever, you know, whatever thing, Fat Dave, Thin Dave, you could have White Dave, do you know what I mean? You don't want that word before your name, you want just Tig Biddy Dave. Do you get what I mean? Because if you can help that, that's what you want. But how to get that? I mean, you could walk into every room you go into, just go like that as you skip in. Everyone's going to pay attention to you. Everyone's also going to grab their mugs and clutch them closer, thinking, fucking hell. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a wiry one, this guy. Other ways to make a good impression. Blame people for stuff. So you go into the fridge, but what you've got to do here, you've got to be very, very clever, right? Really clever. You've got to work out somebody else's business, like work routine, the days that they're in. You can't do it on the days they're off. And then what you've got to do is you've just got to mess with people's things in the fridge. A good thing you could do: open up people's sandwiches, replace the fillings. So like fucking, let's say White Dave, he's always brought in, you know, like a BLT, right? That's what he brings in cold, out the fridge, cold, greasy bacon, lettuce and tomato. You find out what you do is you swap his bacon out for, I don't know, Gabby's tuna, and paste that in there. And then, but you only ever do that when Gary's in, right? It can only happen when Gary's in, because then they'll get it down to you and Gary, but you've got to wait until someone new starts, so it's not just, well, this never happened until this guy started, so you've got to wait till Gary starts the job, and then you fuck with everyone's food. Just as an idea. Unless you wanted to make a positive impression, in which case take up smoking, possibly, maybe, and then just offer people fags, kind of thing. People love that. People love a free cig. What else is up for a positive impression? I'm not very good at that. I'm shit with people, mate. Me. Terrible with people. Fantastic with a knife. Shit with people. To make a good impression, brew up. Brew up for people. Buy biscuits, mate. Always have a pack of biscuits on your desk, and before you know it, the only positive word you can have in front of your names is handsome or fat. If you get known as Fat Tig Biddy Dave, that's fucking mint, mate. That's a term of endearment. Now, this has gone on very long. I hope you're good at your new job. I hope you don't get fired, and I hope you keep in touch with Fat Mick and Chubby Mike. It's very hard to say Fat Mick and Chubby Mike. See you in a bit, Tig Biddy Dave. So for those of you that couldn't work that out, what was actually happening was the two names were very similar. Think if the names were like Vic and Vec. It was very, very, very close. So that's why I went for Fat Mick and Chubby Mike. I hope you're enjoying these. I've got another 3. The others are much shorter. I thought we'd start off with a big one. Because it's probably best to start off with a big one, isn't it? You chuck it straight in at the deep end, and then we'll see what the others are. Are the others shorter because they're better? Are they shorter because they're worse? You decide. If you want a bit more of me, join me Patreon. There'll be a link in the description. But here you go. Here's the next one. Hello, Tig Biddy Dave. He's put in brackets there, like the postman, and then Gary with the lazy eye. There's also, this is from Gary with the lazy eye. Your brother. He's also clarified in a message to me that because I was like, what the fuck does it mean, like the postman? Because I was just thinking, like Pat. How the fuck why have you remembered Pat's second name? I had no idea he had a second name. I can just about remember his cat's called Jess. You know, that's not what he meant. He meant Mailer. Because I read that and I think Myler, which I guess you get all the time, hence the like the postman. I've been told that you're a cowboy in your field of work. Cowboys and postmen. This Gary with the lazy eyes. Obsessed with the YMCA, innit? Fuck me. You're a cowboy in your field of work. I also heard you like watching me sharpen pencils up rats' arseholes, you sick fuck. Here you go. there you go then. There's me sharpening a pencil up a rat's arsehole for Tig Biddy Dave, who's the cowboy postman. Or does that mean like you as you go to, let's pretend this Dictor scale here, this level, fuck it, let's pretend this even better, this spinal cord. It's like Pulp Fiction, isn't it? This spinal cord here is your post, and as you get to the door, and you like that, spin it round in your hand, like you're on like Tom Cruise in Cocktail or whatever it was called. You spin it round, slip it through the door. Or does it mean that you're nicking all the post, you're taking the post home, steaming them over the kettle, opening them up, whipping the tenner out of the kids' birthday cards, rolling it up, pocket it in it, seal it back up, post it out the next day a bit late? Who knows? I would have to do some funny shit with the fox's head, so would you like to see what it looks like to see a decapitated fox's head breastfeed from a human breast? It's not a real human breast, I'm not mental in it, but you can imagine this is a fake tit, and then you can have that suckle on there, mate. And realistically, there's no one that can tell you there's something wrong with this, mate, because like, explain to me what's wrong with this, because it's just my hand in here. But if we had a little bit of just delicate noises like that, I don't know. I don't even know what this is for. I don't even think it's for a birthday. I'll fucking see in a bit. So obviously in that one, the guy's name resembled a word for like delivery driver. Do you know what I mean? So I just played on that. I'm not gonna waste your time. We'll just jump straight into the next one, mate. Happy birthday, Tig Biddy Dave. Little birthday message for you from Mr. Tree. I was laughing to myself before this because you can give your pronouns on this as well. So obviously they put you as a her. She, her, and he's put himself as he, him, and I've been laughing to myself going, Mr. Tree, Mr. Trim. My name's Mr. Tree, Mr. Tree, Mr. Trim. Like that, you know, that's how he introduces himself, but there's nothing to do with him. This video's about you, but he has made a lot of it about himself, because he wants me to show you something I made a few weeks ago, but I don't have it anymore. It was a duck with tits, basically, a duck breast I called it, a duck with breasts, so I can show you my breasts. I've got these fake tits, which I like to do this with them. I don't get anything out of it, you know what I mean? It's just fun to do, isn't it? And it just makes people feel uncomfortable, so it's a cool thing to do. And I like to imagine sometimes there's little heads in there, and they eventually get to touch, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like that, oh, like that. But I do have this free meal here, which is a duckling without a head, because somebody else has took your bill. Now, obviously, it looks ridiculous if you just put a big tit on it. I haven't got any little boobs to show you, but it's the best I can do is show you this and these. But I can show you, what I can show you, Tig Biddy Dave, is my long dong dangler. Now, because Mr. Tree's saying, you know, you know that he loves ducks and breasts, and you've got massive breasts, but that's very much about Mr. Tree, innit? So I thought we'd show you something for you, Tig Biddy Dave. A big fucking dick on a starfish, look at that. And I think you'll agree, Tig Biddy Dave, quite a perky little arse as well that I've made out of the ball bag that was attached to this rubber penis. Now, you might be thinking it's not a very big penis, but it's a hell of a dick for a starfish. And it can be twanged. You can twang the long dong dangler. You can dingle the long dong dangler. You can dingle it around. You know what I mean? This is you as well. This is you. He's a ram's head on a teddy bear. One of the original teddy bear. And I'll sharpen a pencil up a rat's arsehole. Maybe Mr. Tree's hoping that maybe he'll get to, you know, sharpen a little something himself, because he's bought, you know, a bit of brownie points, innit, going out of his way to get this, mate. And ahead of time as well. One of the few people who orders a birthday message well ahead of time. He's a very prepared man. Tig Biddy Dave. He clearly cares about you. You're in his thoughts. This is a pencil being sharpened up a rat's arsehole, mate. Do you want to look it in the eye while I do it? Would you prefer it to be a bit more sensual? I do it sensually. There you go. Bit of eye contact, mate, in the moment. Happy birthday, mate. There you go. There's another one. I think I've gotten quite a nice selection here. There's a few different ones. From a variety of times as well. That one was relatively recent. The person who received that was recently in a live stream saying hello. So if you, I think they were anyway. Oh no, they weren't. That's someone else. Never mind. It just reminded me of another person. Maybe I've shown off the long dong dangler a few times. I probably have. Quite proud of me starfish with a dick, and gutted that not many people were interested. Anyway, here's another one. Possibly, here's the last one. You're right, Tig Biddy Dave, at dogbummer69. Misses you, mate. That's the gist of this message. He says you've moved to Luton with your missus and her kids, and he's paid for this, mate, for you to watch this. He's paid for you to watch me sharpen a pencil up a rat's arsehole whilst you sit in Luton with your missus and your new children, and don't hang around with at dogbummer69. He also says, this is just in case you don't have a clue who I am, I sharpen pencils up rats' arseholes. Nice little nib on that, isn't it? Right, but getting to the point, eh? He says that he's overdue for a coke session, and guess what I've got in here, mate? Guess what I've got? I've got a bag here. Look at this, mate. Bit of beak in there. Baby chicken's beak, mate. If he really cared about you, he could have got you some of this as well, couldn't he? Couple bits of chicken beak. It's all right to have it around kids, I guess. You know, it's better than having cocaine around the kids you've taken under your wing. I do have wings as well. Do I have a wing to hand? I haven't got a wing to hand, unfortunately, but at dogbummer69. Misses you, mate. Get in touch with at dogbummer69 and maybe book a nice little premiere in for the two of yous, and you know, get a bit of bacon. And that's it, guys. I'm going to try and still do your shows over Christmas, otherwise the next show you might get might be the Christmas special. It's busiest time of the year now, so obviously I'll be recording cameos, I'll be making stuff out of skin. Might find it hard to record shows, I might try and do you a here's how, we'll see. Otherwise, the next show you'll hear from me will probably be the Christmas special, which I've not decided if it'll be a story, or if it'll be a special here's how, or if it'll be a... I think Celebrity B&E is probably pretty much done. I don't think it's ever good to keep bringing something back for a Christmas special and not a main series. It's never a good sign, is it? So, if you want to help me out during the Christmas period, share me podcast around. If people would like to figure out ways to clip the podcasts, that'd be pretty good. You know, that'd be nice, because that seems to be how podcasts grow. Obviously, you could join the Patreon, or also, if you don't mind, this doesn't cost you anything, it doesn't take you any time, could you follow at Cute Vintages on TikTok and at Cute_Vintages on Instagram? It's an account where I'm posting videos where I'm trying to help me missus flog shite on eBay and Vinted. I am sharing them to most of them to Instagram and Facebook at the minute, but I probably won't do that forever. I'm trying to grow that page independently to help her advertise her stuff, even though it'll have my face all over it and me talking shit about random bits of tat. But you might find them funny as well, you might not, you might think it's a bit strange, but just try to help her out, you know. And otherwise, I'll fucking see you in a bit, mate.